My first day as a cop, I noticed a mistake my colleague made during the investigation. A man fell from the rooftop onto his car. Based on the scene investigation, Dak thought he might have fallen while dancing, or possibly it was a suicide. But I just smiled and didn't speak. I didn't want to hurt Dak's pride with my guests, looking at the car's condition. It was clear the owner took great care of it. Would someone really commit suicide and drag their car down with them? Then I went to the crime scene, and from the way the phone holder fell, I found a key piece of evidence the police missed. Based on the screen's wear, I figured the owner was left-handed. Dak skeptically opened the phone, but the moment the wallpaper lit up, I immediately recognized it was Michelangelo's The Lamentation of Christ. The owner was clearly a Catholic, and the sticker on the back told me they were also a fan of the local baseball team. None of this matched the victim. There was definitely a second person at the scene. While the victim was dancing under the moonlight, someone must have jumped out from the shadows. And this theory had no holes. Next, they just had to find the second person who was on the rooftop last night. When I went to the hospital to check on the victim, his friends happened to be in the hallway. I quickly picked out 2 left-handed people and 1 Catholic wearing a pendant. The most telling clue was the tattoo on one man. It clearly showed the stitching of a baseball. Dak immediately brought him in for questioning, but just like all the other suspects, this man named Ron denied everything. He claimed he and the victim were like brothers. There was no reason for him to push him off the roof. I couldn't help but shout from the outside, "Why are we talking so much nonsense? You just show the phone and prove Ron was on the rooftop last night." Faced with the hard evidence, the man finally admitted it, but still denied pushing the victim. He said they were practicing dance when suddenly a shadow appeared and pushed his friend. There was no proof for that statement, so the police didn't buy it. The surveillance only caught the car entering the alley. It couldn't prove how many people were at the scene. I looked at the pile of files in my hands, and my mind started racing. Just when everyone thought there was no third party, I came up with a different theory. But before sharing it, I needed to check that smashed up car. The investigation report showed the police found some paint in the trunk, but since the victim worked as a car repair shop painter, they ignored this clue. I, however, had a theory. What if the third person hid in the trunk? That way they could avoid the cameras and follow the victim into the scene. Dak immediately disagreed. Even though the car was from the last century, it had been modified and the trunk's security was better than most luxury cars. Even if the killer got in, they couldn't get out. I smiled slightly and decided to get in the trunk myself to demonstrate.